Hi guys, so in this video we'll be looking at the epidemiological analysis of few bacterial diseases. So the diseases we'll be covering in this video will be diphtheria, whooping cough, meningococcal meningitis and cholera. So these are the diseases we'll be covering, and I'll be giving you content based on which you can write your essays if they ask a question. So before I go into the disease, I just want a small recap of all the subheadings which you can put for your essay. So first of all, the history of the disease, when it first occurred, the total population affected, the impact of the disease on the world, the impact of the disease in India and in your region, and then we go to the epidemiological triad. We talk about the agent factors, host factors, and environment factors, and a few important points in agent, host, and environment factors. Then the modes of transmission, incubation period, clinical features, the progression of the disease, the various stages of the disease, lab diagnosis, prevention and control, and related health programs. So these are all the subheadings which you need to put, and I'll be giving you the most important points for each disease which you need to mention in your essay. So first we'll talk about diphtheria. So diphtheria's incidence has prevalence incidence and prevalence has decreased in developed countries due to vaccination, and it's an endemic disease in India. So that will be your introduction or history of the disease. It's caused by Corynebacterium diphtheriae. So this is the agent factor. It's a gram-positive bacilli, and it produces diphtheria exotoxin, which actually causes all the clinical features. So the important symptoms which you're going to mention are pseudomembrane formation in the mouth and regional lymph node enlargement. So you need to mention these two. The source of infection are from either cases or who are affected and show symptoms, and carriers of the disease who don't show symptoms. The period of onset is about 14 to 18 days. It primarily affects children. So the mode of transmission is through contaminated objects. The route of entry can either be respiratory or non-respiratory. Non-respiratory in the sense cut wounds, so enter through that. The treatment for diphtheria is diphtheria antitoxin, which is given IM or IV. You need to know in detail about the vaccines for diphtheria. There are three types of vaccines: combined, single, and anti-sera. The different combined vaccines are DPT, diphtheria, pertussis, and tetanus. DPTW, DPTW and DT. DT is diphtheria and tetanus alone, and DPT is diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus whole cell, and then DPT is another variation of the combined vaccine. And single vaccine is not used nowadays, but you just need to know that there are single vaccines available. So that will be your FT, APT, and PTAP. So this will be like alum precipitated toxoid or something like that. So you just remember the names, and then some important points about DPT is it needs to be stored in 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. It should not be frozen. It should be given as 3 doses, 6, 10, 14 weeks, and it's given IM in the anterolateral part of the thigh. Then there's another vaccine known as pentavalent vaccine, which covers 5 main diseases, which are diphtheria, pertussis, tetanus, hepatitis, and Haemophilus influenza B. So that is all the important points of diphtheria which you need to know. Moving on to the next bacterial disease, which is whooping cough. So whooping cough again affects the children. It's a respiratory illness, so it obviously cough is there. So cough is going to be the most prominent symptom. It's prevalent all around the world even now. The cases in India are declining because of immunization. So this will be our introduction part. Bordetella pertussis is the agent over here. It produces both exotoxin and endotoxin, which produces the symptoms. This disease affects males more than females more than males, and it's more prominent in winter and spring. So this will, you need to put this point under your environment history. And overcrowding will increase the exposure rate. Another point in environment history. The mode of transmission is through droplet nuclei. The incubation period is from 7 to 14 days. There are three stages of this disease: the catarrhal stage, the paroxysmal stage, and the convalescent stage. So catarrhal stage for 10 days, where you have symptoms like cough and sneezing. In paroxysmal stage, you have this specific high pitched woof after continuous coughs. So that is like very important clinical feature which you need to highlight and talk about. The convalescent stage is about 1 to 2 weeks where the infection subsides. So again, talking about the vaccine, you have DPT, DTWP, DTAP, and same, it's given as 3 doses, 16 14 weeks. A booster dose may given between 18 to 24 months. So that's all the points you need to know about whooping cough caused by Bordetella pertussis. Moving on, meningococcal meningitis. So this is caused by Neisseria meningitis. It is a gram-negative diplococci which is lancet shaped. It dies on exposure to heat and cold. It affects infants mostly. Outbreaks are common in dry and cold weather environment history. There's increased incidence in low socioeconomic group, again environment history. Mode of transmission, again droplet nuclei. The incubation period is around 2 to 10 days. The clinical features we're going to have are meningitis, signs and symptoms of meningitis, which are headache, fever, and stiff neck. The treatment which you can give for any type of meningococcal meningitis, the drug of choice is penicillin. You can give other drugs like ceftriaxone and chloramphenicol. Now, when you're talking about the prevention and control of this disease, you need to talk about mass chemoprophylaxis. Drugs like ciprofloxacin and minocycline can be given, and there are vaccines available. So the two different vaccines available are your polysaccharide vaccine and polysaccharide protein conjugated vaccine. These need to be stored again at 2 to 8 degree Celsius. So that those are all the important points which you need to know about meningococcal meningitis. And the last disease which we'll be covering today is cholera. So cholera is caused by Vibrio cholerae. Two main strains are the Eltor and O139 strain. So this Vibrio cholerae has two toxins, L toxin and H toxin, light toxin, heavy toxin. What these toxins do is they decrease the activate of adenine cyclase, so they decrease the level of CAMP. This promotes fluid loss. So the important clinical features are going to be due to dehydration. So it's on the rise in the world, and it's mainly due to this O139 strain which causes outbreaks. In India, West Bengal is known as home of cholera previously. The majority of cases as per 2016 report are from Delhi, Maharashtra, Gujarat, West Bengal and Rajasthan. It's both an endemic and epidemic disease. The mode of transmission is fecal contaminated water. So the test which you know for Vibrio are to identify the L2 strain will be it has agglutination property of chicken and sheep erythrocytes. It's resistant to classical phage 4 and it's resistant to polymyxin B. So how do you kill this bacteria? Boiling at 56 degrees Celsius, or you can use cresol or bleaching powder. The clinical features, as I said, the most important one is acute profuse watery diarrhea or rice water stools in other terms. It causes dehydration, and that is going to cause the big problem in the patient. And the important treatment for this is rehydration by ORS. So you need to know about the different types of ORS and what are the contents of the ORS and how it's given. And then moving on, sanitation control. How do you control this disease? Is by doing four things: water control, the purity of water by either chlorination or boiling or whatever it is, and then excreta disposal so that excreta and water don't get mixed with each other. Food sanitation, just boiling and general proper cooking of food before eating, and disinfection of your area. Those are the disinfection of either water pumps or places where cholera can be transmitted. And then finally, there are vaccines for cholera as well. There are three oral vaccines. There are Dukoral, Sancol, and Uvicol. You just need to know the names. And then there is a specific program known as Diarrheal Diseases Control Program, which again focuses on these 4 points. So you just put the heading and then write about these 4 points over again under the name of this program. So that will be all for this video. I just hope these points will be really helpful for you to just concise your preparation and not be scared of all the diseases. I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Thank you.